Too often when we hear about teenagers in East Oakland, the stories we hear about are violent. But our focus today is on an organization that for years has been doing a lot to help teens make empowered choices. It's the East Oakland Youth Development Center. Joining us, we have Regina Jackson, who's Executive Director, and Selena Wilson, who is a youth leader. Welcome to you both. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Regina, tell me a little bit about EOYDC, as it's commonly known.
We were founded in 1973, and we've been providing programs to about 1,500 youth a year in the areas of job training, GED, computer resources, visual, performing and culinary arts, and physical development, basketball, track and field, martial arts, mountaineering, you name it. But we do it all free of charge.
That is amazing. And you start very young because, Selena, you came to the program at the age of 4. What did you do when you were 4 there?
When I was 4, I started in African dance, and just all throughout, like elementary, I would come sporadically, come to art class, things like that. And I've been in basically every single program except for the GED program that EOYDC offers.
And what grade are you in school now?
I'm a junior at Castlemont High School.
And you're a youth leader as well at the center. What do you do as a youth leader?
As a youth leader, basically, I work with the students who are in the summer program, and we're basically like a mentor, supervisor, things like that. We help organize what's going to happen with the summer program. The summer program basically is directed by a person in college usually, and all the people that work with the kids are teenagers, usually in high school or in college, and we just kind of provide them with direction and have fun with them.
A lot of fun, a lot of focus and direction. I mentioned in my introduction, unfortunately, a lot of times when we do hear about violence, we think about that in East Oakland. You have some thoughts about that and what kids really should consider?
Right. That is definitely true. EOYDC, we've just within the past year experienced deaths of students that come to our programs, and a lot of them have been my friends, so I can really definitely relate to it. And the sad thing about it is that I think youth have to realize, first of all, that life isn't fair, and sometimes bullets don't have names on them. That's a famous thing that we always hear, and that you really just have to be careful about who you're with, where you are, things like that. EOYDC, just like as far as my decision making goes, like I've learned a lot about that because I live in the neighborhood. A few blocks from my house, just last week, a girl was shot in the head and killed just because she was standing with a group of people. So it just has really affected the way I think. Things like that. I just think you need to be really careful because in the day and age that we live and in the area that we live, you just really have to be conscious of your surroundings.
And that's where you come in too, Regina, with offering support when you're grieving and dealing with issues like this.
Absolutely. I don't like going to funerals, so I try to make the most of my efforts as well as our staff efforts on dealing and encouraging kids while they're alive, helping them to make good choices. If they don't have information, providing them with information. If they make bad choices, inviting them to come back, help dust them off and kind of put them back on the horse again. Because we're not always going to make the right decisions, but we need to know that somebody's going to have our back to help us get it right the next time around.
That's wonderful to know. You also have a gala coming up with some people who used to participate. Mark Curry,
yes,
used to be at EOYDC.
Gary Payton, Dwayne Wiggins of Tony. We've got a lot of really great friends, many of whom started at EOYDC. So the Selenas of the world will be someone making extraordinary contributions in the future. Yeah. It's going to be June 22nd at the Zellerbach Auditorium.
Right, UC Berkeley, and
yes,
the number to call 510-654-5335. Sounds like a great event. I'm glad to know that EOYDC is continuing to serve the community in such a wonderful way. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for joining us. We want to hear from you. Email us or write us. That's your stories at NBC3.com.